agency owners get caught in a couple of valleys of death, right? The first is trying to get to that first 100K month. That's a really, really hard milestone. Most agency owners never get there. The next big jump that agency owners hit is between the 100 and 300K per month mark. You'll notice statistically, there's a huge drop off in terms of agency owners who push past 300K and get to 500K, a million per month. Why? Because at that stage of growth, you are now not the only leader in your business. At that stage of growth, you're putting in a management team, heads of, team leads, VPs of, call them whatever you want, directors, but you're putting in place a middle management tier in your org chart. And now that is one more layer of separation, right? Let's say that, okay, we've gotten to the 7-figure run rate. It was really hard for me to let go of the reins for my account manager, my media buyer, my frontline team. But I can still show up and work with them every day. I can still check in on them. I can still see how they're doing. I can still see if they're doing a good job or not. When you get to that next stage of growth, now you can't even do that because that's the manager's job. And so you now have to learn how to lead through other leaders. And there's generally a huge amount of team turnover at this stage of growth because the leaders that you put in place were maybe not the right people or the people that are capable of leading the department towards 500K per month and everything that it's going to take in order to get there. So that skill gap, again, of not just being a good leader yourself, but leading other leaders and leveling up those leaders and putting those people in the right role and set up for success, that is a really hard transition to make. The evolution that gets you to the 100K, 200K, 300K per month mark is the evolution in that identity that says, in order to be successful, it doesn't mean you're doing everything. It means that you're creating a team and an ecosystem in which everything gets done, right? So as opposed to you showing up and doing the right work is still getting done. It's just no longer getting done by just you. A qualified and competent COO or head of ops needs to be looking at the P&L, needs to understand cost structures and expense structures in the business and be able to lower them so that you are able to stack profit. The CEO's job is to drive revenue. That's down here. And the gap between those two is profit. I train my operators to study, they aren't financial experts. Like if our labor budget is out of KPI and we have too many people, I need to see that and understand that so that I can then turn around, analyze the team and figure out where are we over leveraged or where are we less than fully productive. I think that an operator needs to be able to use financial data as a diagnostic tool for them to identify where there's inefficiencies and gaps in the business that's causing profit to be lower than it should be. And how do I restructure the team or the systems or whatever to close that gap and bring profitability back in?
Now I'm over here feeling some type of way because I'm like, dang, we give that kind of cost of fulfillment metric. We call ours something different, but sure. We tell our clients all the time, like, it is so important to know each individual service because one of the things that irks me with accountants, and everybody knows how I feel about the accounting industry. If you're newer to the podcast, I personally feel like the accounting industry as a whole is just failing our clients because we give you guys these financials, this balance sheet and P&L, and we just give it to you. We don't explain nothing. We don't break it down. We don't relate it to you. And the client is just going to go, oh, okay, thank you. And they're not going to read it. And then we have bigger problems compounding later. So for me, I hate it when we get a client or a prospect coming in and we may be doing a diagnostic and you just see income and a number. I'm like, this doesn't tell me anything. If you do, we have a lot of SEO agencies. Like I should see website income. I should see onboarding. I should see SEO. I should see consulting. I should see project. Because eventually you're going to ask me, well, which one of these is the most profitable, right? Mm-hmm. And we need to know that because you may be putting all your time into building websites, but that may be your third most profitable thing when SEO is the one that brings you the money, which to your point, if that's where we put all the focus, then we make more money, etc. Yeah. So what would resisting in your example look like? We know it's not outward defiance. And when you say resist, you mean they're doing things or saying things like...
It is essentially comes down to identity because what makes you a successful entrepreneur is being needed by your business, is being the best person for every job in your business, is being the smartest person on your team and the smartest person in the room and always having the answer. again, it's totally natural that your identity would be tied to these things because that is what has made you successful up until this moment, right? And again, that core belief that says, my way is the right way, my business needs me, it's easier and faster if I just do it myself. I don't trust my team to do it as well as I will do it, so I'll just step in and do it. All of these beliefs root back to your identity that says, I am the sole driver of my own success. I have to do everything myself. So that's where the resistance comes from. It comes from, at its root, shifting your identity away from, I do everything. I am successful. I make myself successful, towards, I build a team that is successful. I lift other people up so they can get the right work done. I build the ecosystem so that the highest performance and the best work gets done around me. So let me give you a tactical example here, Cameron. I get so much more joy out of my team coming to me and telling me how they've done something or how they've solved a problem than I get from actually showing up and solving the problem, right? In terms of where my dopamine hit comes from, it comes from seeing my team thrive, seeing my team be successful. My identity has shifted so that now when my team wins, I'm winning. Most smaller agency owners, it's the opposite. I win when I win, and then I have to drag my team with me, versus my whole definition of success, the whole point of being an entrepreneur at this stage of the journey is to support and lift my team so that they can win, because them winning is me winning.